Malachy Steenson, you've just been elected to Dublin Inner City Council. How do you feel?
I feel great that the people of the inner city have put their trust in me to deliver a new Ireland and to deliver our nation back to the people. This campaign has been exhausting, but what it has done is it has politicised a whole new generation of people. There are people now canvassing on our teams and on other teams around the country who have never been involved in politics before, and they now want to change this society to one that is run for the benefit of its people, one that has the sovereignty of the Irish nation at its heart and the love of this nation, and not a political class that are beholden to the European Union or to anybody else. We want this country run by the people of Ireland for the benefit of the Irish people.
Getting down to the brass tacks issues, what are you going to do going forward to deliver that?
Well, I suppose in the council, in terms of delivering on that, there's very little you can do, but what we need to advocate is that the council actually has the powers that it used to have returned to itself, that have been taken over by mainly the Minister for the Environment. The councils need to have real power and be able to make decisions to deal, particularly with housing, and to deal with issues that arise in their administrative area. But separately, we will be building this national movement that has emerged over the past year and a half, particularly from November 2022 when the protests in East Wall started. A grassroots and a genuine grassroots movement has been built up organically by people without a leadership structure, without leaders in fact. People coming to the fore in their own communities will now team up with people of like mind in other communities, and this national movement has awoken in this election, and it will go forward, it will get stronger, and we will make a serious challenge in the general election which will come later this year.
And there's been a lot of talk in, I suppose, the media and mainstream politics that these people who are, rising up, as you would say, are somehow influenced by the far right. What would you say to that? Do you think that's fair, or do you think that they're just people, ordinary people who are genuinely just disaffected with how the country's being run?
Well, the first time I ran for election, I think in 2009, I was accused of being far left. Now I'm being accused of being far right, and I'm saying the very same things. And I think it's very interesting that today, over in the Count Centre, we were there with a tricolour, and we were also almost being spat at by people who would have been there with a tricolour 20 and 30 years ago, claiming to represent the Irish people. The movement that's emerging is a genuine grassroots movement, and it will be reflective of ordinary, decent, working class people.
Finally, do you have much hope for the Euros? We're still waiting for the results.
Well, we haven't seen any real tallies or anything yet. I wouldn't have entered the election if I hadn't got hope and ambition to drive forward this project. It would seem that on balance the numbers are against us, particularly because the government parties seem to have held up their vote in the local elections, and it would seem in Europe. And that is because the Emperor has changed his clothes. Varadkar is gone because of the policies and points that we were making. He was replaced by Harris, who has now adopted all of the points that we have made. Everything we said from November 2022 is now government policy. People are being checked coming off planes with no documents and being sent back. People are being checked at the border and being sent back. People are being, the process is starting to move in a direction that we have advocated for. But I don't suspect that will last post the general election. This is purely optics. And purely the sense and the pretense of movement by the government in order to consolidate our power base, because what matters in this country is power. And you could see, over in the Count Centre, the venom and the anger in the political class's eyes and faces when they heard that I was going to be elected. We have made a seismic change in this country, and it'll take us a number of days to actually absorb the impact that this will make.